Greetings to all the learners. Welcome to CEC lecture. The topic of analysis is Energy Issues and Global Governance, looking at OPEC as a case study. In this lecture, we shall analyze the structure and working of Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, looking at its important role with respect to oil and energy, the important role it plays with respect to international relations as an intergovernmental organization. In this lecture, we shall explain the emergence and evolution of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. The lecture shall elaborate on issues concerning oil supply and energy security with special focus looking at the working of OPEC. In this lecture, we shall also discuss challenges and opportunities for the future with respect to oil markets and global governance. To begin with, let us understand that Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, it is a permanent intergovernmental organization. It was created at the Baghdad Conference in 1960 by Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia and Venezuela. The term intergovernmental organization is very important here. Now, when we talk about OPEC, as we just saw that OPEC is a permanent intergovernmental organization. The term intergovernmental organization, taking this definition from Harvard Law School, it refers to any entity created by treaty involving two or more nations to work in good faith on issues of common interest. In the absence of a treaty, when we look at intergovernmental organization, it does not exist in the legal sense then. Let's analyze with this conceptual clarification the main aims of OPEC. OPEC aims to manage the supply of oil in an effort to set the price of oil in the world market in order to avoid fluctuations that might affect the economies of both producing as well as the purchasing countries. We shall now understand the mission of OPEC, and for that we take reference to the literature that we got from opec.org. The mission of OPEC is to coordinate and unify the petroleum policies of its member countries and to ensure the stabilization of oil markets in order to secure an efficient, economic and regular supply of petroleum to consumers, a steady income to producers and a fair return on capital for those investing in the petroleum industry. OPEC is headquartered in Vienna, Austria. The membership, when we talk about the OPEC membership, its membership is open to any country that is a substantial exporter of oil which shares the ideals of the organization. OPEC, dear learners, we must understand that as a permanent intergovernmental organization that was created at the conference in Baghdad in 1960, the creators included Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, and later they were joined by other countries. Let us see which are they in chronological order. Qatar 1961, Indonesia 1962, Libya 1962, United Arab Emirates 1967, Algeria 1969, Nigeria 1971, Ecuador 1973, Gabon 1975, Angola 2007, Equatorial Guinea 2017, Congo 2018. And let's understand that currently the organization has a total of 13 member countries, only after Ecuador, Indonesia, Qatar and Gabon suspended it. Once again, we present you this data for conceptual clarification from OPEC.org. Let us now understand the evolution of OPEC. Now, this evolution of OPEC shall also give us insights with respect to understanding the dynamics of the oil markets as well as oil supply and pricing issues at the global level, which definitely had an important linkage with respect to countries' respective works at the domestic level. OPEC's formulation by 5 oil producing countries in Baghdad happened in September 1960. As we are understanding the evolution from 1960s, let us read through the context that time, that is, transition in the international economic and political landscape, decolonization and emergence of many new independent states in the developing world. The international oil market, once again we have to note that in this context was dominated by 7 sisters multinational companies. With this, we see that in 1960s it was established, its secretariat was there first in Geneva and then in 1965 in Vienna. It adopted a declaratory statement of petroleum policy in member countries in 1968. This declaratory statement of petroleum products in member countries emphasized the inalienable rights of all countries to exercise permanent sovereignty over their natural resources in the interest of their national development. And then within this time, we have to note that its membership grew to 10 by the year 1969. This brings us to the decade of 1970s. Now, this decade of 1970s is very important, especially for oil price and oil supply, global issues, as well as which these issues had a bearing with respect to the domestic policies. When we try to underline the evolution of OPEC in 1970s, this decade witnessed several important events as well as impactful events that caused and led to volatility in the global oil market. In this scenario, OPEC broadened its mandate with the first summit of heads of state and government in Algiers. This was in 1975. Now, the theme of first summit, if we go by the references presented at OPEC.org, it addressed the plight of the poor nations and called for a new era of cooperation in international relations. There was establishment of the OPEC Fund for International Development in 1976. This brings us to the decade of 1980s. Now, as we are understanding the evolution of OPEC as well as looking at the brief history, these decades, study of these decades also gives us insights into what were the dynamics of the oil and energy market that time. In the decade of 1980s, dear learners, we must underline that demand for energy increased and oil demand then later fell in the early parts of 1980s. there was market crash in 1986, and later part of the decade we see that oil market witnessed some recovery. OPEC introduced a group production adjustment. This was divided amongst member countries and a reference basket for pricing, as well as significant progress with both OPEC and non-OPEC dialogue and cooperation. This was seen as essential for the market stability. In this scenario, one must also understand that with the changing dynamics of international relations, environmental issues also became important not only for global governance but also for international energy agenda. In the decade of 1990s, we must underline some of the important developments. 1990s witnessed excessive volatility which dominated the decade. 1990s was a decade of globalization. It was marked by communications revolutions, technology. As the United Nations sponsored climate change negotiations gathered momentum after the Earth Summit, this was in 1992. OPEC sought fairness, balance and realism in the treatment of oil supply. Now, 2000s, once again these points we take from opec.org just to clarify for the purpose of resources used for research. 2000s we find that with the help of OPEC there were efforts to help strengthen and stabilize global oil market. 2008 there was market volatility. OPEC's second and third summit in Caracas and Riyadh in 2000 and 2007 established stable energy markets, sustainable developments and environment as three guiding themes, and it adopted a comprehensive long-term strategy in 2005. When we look at the decade of 2010, dear learners, herein we must note that this was marked by trade patterns shifting. This decade witnessed more understanding and appreciation of the role that OPEC has played with reference to the mandate of stabilizing global oil markets in the interest of both producers and consumers. 2020, one must look at this year specifically in this decade, that with the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, oil market saw the demand in free fall. OPEC and its partners in the declaration of cooperation to intensify collaborative efforts to resume much needed stability, resulting in the largest and longest voluntary production adjustments in the oil market's history. Now, as we are looking at the working of OPEC, we must understand that over a period of time, the agenda which OPEC has dealt with has also witnessed changes. The OPEC International Summit is an important event with respect to deliberations on world energy. Now, who are the seminar's participants? It includes ministers from OPEC member countries and other oil producing and oil consuming nations, as well as heads of intergovernmental organizations, chief executives of national and international oil companies, in addition to presence of industry leaders, academia, energy experts, specialist media, amongst others. Now, we will have a glance through the theme of the OPEC international seminars, which also gives us an insight that how the issue of oil and petroleum over a period of time has also responded with respect to needs of the changing world. September 2001, the first OPEC international seminar, its important theme was OPEC and the global energy balance towards sustainable energy future. September 2004, the second OPEC international seminar, petroleum in an interdependent world. September 2006, the third OPEC international seminar, theme OPEC in a new energy era, challenges and opportunities. March 2009, the fourth OPEC international seminar, that was on the theme petroleum, future stability and sustainability. June 2012, the fifth OPEC international seminar on the theme petroleum, fueling prosperity, supporting sustainability. June 2015, the sixth OPEC international seminar on the theme petroleum, an engine for global development. June 2018, the seventh OPEC international seminar on the theme petroleum, cooperation for a sustainable future. Now, we all know that the term intergovernmental organization refers to an entity created by treaty involving two or more nations to work in good faith on issues of common interest. When we look at this provision with respect to OPEC, there is a point of argument, that is of a cartel. The governments of the OPEC countries agreed to coordinate with petroleum firms, both in the state and private sector, for world oil supply and oil prices. But there is the argument that when firms agree to collude, that is, they agree to a certain price and quantity for a good or service, they create a cartel. Let's take some reference or definition. What is a cartel? A cartel is a special case of oligopoly. What is oligopoly? Going by the definitions in the discipline of economics, in economics, an oligopoly is a market structure where the industry is dominated by a small number of sellers, oligopolists. The dominant sellers, since they are few in number, are each likely to be aware of the actions of the other. In this light, a cartel is a special case of oligopoly when competing firms in an industry collude to create explicit formal agreements to fix prices and production quantities. So, therefore, it is argued that the same logic also applies to OPEC. Another critique that academicians and other policy analysts have argued with respect to critique of OPEC is that its dominant market position has at times allowed OPEC to act as a cartel. Now, what are the challenges then with respect to functioning of OPEC? We must take into account that there have been division within its membership. In the same framework, one cannot ignore emergence of United States as a major oil exporter, and there is a global shift as we look at the debates on sustainability, environmental governance towards cleaner energy sources. The share of global oil supply that OPEC controls has also fluctuated over time, and then there is a challenge of coordinating policies because some of its members have also witnessed geopolitical tensions, and there is a related issue of competition with other members within the cartel. As we are discussing issues of global governance and energy security, we will now take reference to a very important book. This is by Giuliano Gravini, that is Rise and Fall of OPEC in the 20th Century. The book is from Oxford University Press 2019. Now, when we recall about the oil shock of 1973, when prices of petroleum quadrupled, and this book aptly points out that in this context, industrialized countries and consumers were forced to face the limits of their development model. In this scenario, OPEC definitely comes to mind. It is, as the book, we go through the various pages of the book, it points out that it is the first international organization of the global south, which is also acting as global spearhead of the global south, the economic spearhead of the global south. And as we read through this, there are underlying conflicts between producers and consumers of the natural resources. Another very important reference is that of Dag Herald-Claes, Giuliano Gravani, the Handbook of OPEC and Global Energy Order, Past, Present and Future Challenges. The book is from Routledge 2020. Now, herein, as we all know, that Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, it celebrated its 60th anniversary in 2020. There are important issues that are discussed in the book, namely governance of international energy, the issues that are involved with respect to relationship between OPEC and its competitors and potential partners. So, therefore, we must refer to these two books in order to add more inputs and insights with reference to our answers, preparation for competition examination, developing research papers for the special for the special topic of global governance, energy issues. So, we are looking at the specific case study of OPEC for the global energy order. Dear learners, we hope that the lecture presented to you significant inputs and insights. We look forward to positive and encouraging feedback from you all. Thank you very much.